My boyfriend wants to marry me, but still be with his wife. This is the first time I'm posting here, been reading posts here for a long time, but this is the first time I am coming here to ask for advice. Before I start, I need to explain here that I am probably going to receive a lot of backlash since I am the third party in a relationship. I know that most posts here are written by those who have been cheated on, and not the cheating person. But please hear me out and let me get my feelings out first before I receive judgment that I am sure I deserve. I have been in a relationship with a married man for the past 2 years. We met when I first joined my company as his junior associate. We spent a lot of time together working closely, and he was always really nice and attentive to me. I come from a single-parent home, and grew up without much affection, which kind of made me eager to receive any love or affection from anyone. I was a loner growing up too, and was bullied as a child, so to be protected and treated well made me feel like I was important and loved. Needless to say, I fell for him hard, and even when I knew he was married a few weeks later, I already had feelings for him. At first I thought that it was just one-sided on my part, but when we were away for a work trip, he confessed that he had feelings for me too, and that he didn't want to act on them since he was married, but it was difficult for him to push me away. He told me from the start that we would have to be together without anyone knowing, and if I wanted that with him, he would be the best boyfriend to me, as long as I keep us a secret. I don't know why I couldn't say no to him, so I agreed and we began an affair. We would never meet outside of work hours and work trips, and whenever he could come over to my place for a few hours, he would. We rarely spent the night together, our time was always limited. He was always spending time with his family on weekends, which he explained to me he had to do so that his wife wouldn't suspect anything. He told me that he wanted to be with me, but he had to make sure we didn't get caught. He was protecting me from any backlash or potential violence from his wife. The times that we did spend the night together was usually when his wife went away on business trips and the kids were at their grandparents' place. He would be so thoughtful whenever we could spend the night together. He would always prepare a romantic dinner at my place, and set the mood for us. He always bought me little gifts too, and get food delivered to my place on the nights that he was with his wife and knew I was eating alone. This continued for 2 years, and I was starting to feel that he might want more with me, so I asked him if he would ever consider starting a family with me. I know that he has his own family, but I've always wanted to be a mom, and I really love him so much. I want to have his kids. He told me straight out that he never thought of having kids other than the ones he has. It broke my heart, and I cried when he told me that. He said that he needed to take some time for himself to think things through, and that I needed the space to calm down too. So he left my place to go home as usual, and I got scared thinking that he wants to break up with me. I began texting him and calling him to ask him to forget whatever I said and that I will accept whatever he can give me, just to not leave me. He didn't reply me or contact me for 2 days, then when we were back at work, he called me into his office for a discussion. He apologized for the silence and said that he had taken the time to think. He told me that he loves me and wants to spend the rest of his life with me. He told me that if I was willing, he would marry me in church, just the both of us taking vows with one another. That even though he would still be married to his wife legally, he wanted to take me as his wife too. That I am important for him, that he wants to take this step with me. But he still wasn't willing to have any kids with me, and maybe in a few more years, if this is something I really wanted, then he would consider it then. I don't know if he really means it, and if I agree to be with him like this, he will one day be mine completely, or am I being stupid? I have been with him for 2 years, and I have been happy. He makes me feel loved, even though he doesn't spend a lot of time with me. Am I terrible for wanting to have his kids? Should I agree with what he says? At this point in time, I don't think I can walk away from him at all. I cannot imagine a life without him. I wish I knew what to do. Comments. I'm not going to comment on how you are both horrible people. Him for betraying his wife and you for sleeping with a married man. It sounds like he's a lot older than you and already has older kids, while you see a secure, parental figure in him. Let me be honest, the things he told you are utter bullshit. Married in a church in secret means absolutely nothing. Will he be with you when you're ill? Can he drop everything to help you in whatever emergency may occur? Will you be able to be with him when he's ill? No. You'll always linger in the shadows at the fringe of his life. You also said that you grew up with a single parent. Is that what you want for your kids too? Although he'll probably waste your childbearing years until it's too late and you wasted your chance for a family. Do you want your kids to see their dad every once in a while? Not attending whatever milestones, because you are a secret and he can't be seen with you, they have? Let's be honest. He'll string you along for a few years, never leaving his wife and leave you without ever looking back. His proposal is completely delusional and frankly laughable. Take a good look at yourself and be honest, this will never end well, and if it ever comes out he'll never take your side. End things. You can't be serious? You are prepared to give your life to a man who has repeatedly told you, you will only ever be a side piece to him, and he doesn't want kids with you but will keep you hanging on by saying wait a few years and I might think about it. But that's okay because he loves you? Oh, then tells you he wants to marry you, commit polygamy, and you believe it. You secretly are hoping and are saying to yourself, one day he will be mine. You need some serious help and you have no self-respect. If you're serious, then tell him you have booked a priest and can get married next week. Then come back and tell me what he says. I cannot believe there are women in the world like you. It's shocking. You need help. You are literally destroying your life, his wife's life, and his children's lives. You're insane. Get help. You are an absolute disaster of a person. Can't you really find your very own corner of happiness instead of looking and thriving on drama? Feelings will disappear in time, just start a new life elsewhere and stay away from past men. You know you deserve to be loved fully and properly, not part-time or when is convenient, right? Grow a pair. In the dictionary next to homewrecker, there is your photo.